Hey guys, Manny CA here. Today I thought I'd go through and show you guys how I swage 357 and 38 special bullets. See that? Loaded round. This is in a 38. This is what they end up looking like when you get done making them. Using 380 brass. Yep, stuff you find at the range, or you can pick it up cheap on some of the boards. You know, these are what we're swaging today. Of course, first thing that we're going to do as always is you're going to have to anneal your brass. So you take your 380 brass, stick it in the oven on the self-cleaning timer for about an hour. After they come out, they'll be nice, kind of dirty looking, and then tumble them clean with stainless steel media, a little bit of citric acid. I'll show you another video how we do that. After you get done with that, let them dry, and they're going to be shiny and look like gold inside and out. And you want your clean brass because you want the slugs that we cast out of pure lead to adhere inside. So these are pure lead cast. This is 117 grain. It's an old Ideal mold. You kind of can see it right there. Matches up very well with our 380 brass. And again, these are going to be about 155 to 160 grain slugs. I shoot them out of the Blackhawk. Again, you can make this as complicated or as simple as you want. Like our other past two videos on the 45 and the 44 mag bullets that we swaged. We don't require any specialty dies. You don't got to spend hundreds of dollars. Those dies are nice to have, but since a lot of people don't have the money or don't want to spend the money, I don't have the money to shell out, and kind of lazy to wait, I kind of thought I'd do them on my own. So this is how we do it. After you get your bullet cast, find a comparable bullet. You could always trim them down using a pair of dikes. Trim down your piece of lead there to match the bullets, mix and match. An electric scale is invaluable for that. After you do all that, what you want to do is you want to size your bullets, and this is a 355 die sizer we have in here. And what we're going to do is no lube, do not put any lube. We're going to size our bullets. And for those of you who said that my press is flexing, thank you very much. Haven't had a chance to tie it down yet the way it should be, but hey man, so goes the life of a working man. So we're sizing these up, 355. The whole thing is you want to be able to slip them inside. See how you'll see what the parts that get. You see the parts that get shiny are the parts that get sized. See that? So you want these to be sized. You want them pretty concentric, because what we're going to do is we're going to hand insert these, just like this one is, into our 380 brass. So after you hand insert, you use your 223 full length sizing die with the decapper removed. See that? And for if I had some time, what I would do is I would probably run this on the lathe or something and kind of just take that edge off a little bit, make it a little bit more smooth, so it'd be easier. Opening this hole up, make it a little bit easier to transition. So I believe the die is set correctly. So what we're going to do is, after you insert your slug, you want to, if it doesn't go in all the way, remember these have been annealed, so they're very soft. Any kind of dinging or denting, you're going to mess them up, won't be able to use them. So I like to put them upside down like that. Oh, and by the way, this is the push die that comes with the 356, 355 sizer, lease sizer, so you can use this for just about anything. And what I'll do is just kind of give it a little tap and seat it. There. So we've seated it. It's perfect the way we want. The next thing what you want to do is always make sure you use enough lube. And this is our homemade lube here. And that's just a little bit of paraffin, a little bit of beeswax, a little bit of lanolin. A lot of lanolin actually. And you just want to coat the whole bullet. And now as we said before, there's always trial and error. This die has already been set to make our ogive, which is your point on your bullet. You can use this, which is the 223. You can use 22 Swift, and there's a different way. That's 22 Swift full length sizing die with the decapper removed. You can do that also. Also, you can make these out of 223, but I didn't have enough 223 laying around to anneal them. You just follow the same direction, only with the 223. You just use the our mini chop saw that we showed you, the jig, cut them to size, and it's basically the same function. So we're going to take it and put a little bit more lube on there, because you can never have enough wax when you're forming. We're just going to ride it up inside our die. See our die, press flexing just a little bit. And I'm going to check and make sure. Now, you want to use something that's going to cover the nose of your bullet fairly well, see? So I've got this old file, chainsaw file I'm using to pound it out. Now, it might seem a little violent, but hey, got our ogive set. I'm going to run it up one more time. Remove any of the excess that's coming up. Like I say, you always trim a little bit extra on that. We could adjust our die a little bit down more. It's a trial and error type situation, so lube it up. There we go. Use our punch here, because well, after you do your ogive using the 223 die, what we're going to do is, you don't ever want to shoot these things without doing the final size. So we've got our 357 push through die right here, and remember, there's always 1,000 springbacks, so these will come to 357 and a half, 358 maybe, and you just use a pair of micrometers and check it out. That's not going to hurt anything. 357, 357 and a half. You're still within specs, well within specs, and you'll be good to shoot it. Another thing I wanted to point out, I was feeling a little under the weather when I did the beginning of the film, and I just stopped and went inside and lay down for a little bit. I'm fighting a cold, I guess. Just one thing I wanted to reiterate to you guys: if you're ever not feeling up to snuff, if you don't feel good, or you're angry at something, don't reload, don't load, don't hand load, don't do anything, because what happens is you tend to rush, and you tend to make mistakes. So I caught myself thinking, I don't know why I was thinking of 9 mil, so I'm thinking of .355 diameter when I'm doing this, and that's not good. So I just took a break, stopped, and went in for a couple hours, laid down, relaxed, took a nap. Basically, I'm fighting some cold, and came back out. Now I feel 10 times better. So again, don't ever do anything like this, especially because you're talking about shooting high pressures and high velocities. You don't want to make a mistake and end up hurting yourself or someone else, especially out in the field. So back to finishing these guys up. So after you're done forming the ogive, what we're going to do is do our final sizing. And let's see, these guys, these are at 5'9.5", it looks like. I'd say 5'9.5". So again, remember, you don't ever shoot anything that you didn't do a final sizing to. Now 359.5, man, it's iffy to shoot. I wouldn't shoot it. I mean, you put it through a gun like the Ruger Blackhawk over here, and this thing could take the pressure, but I wouldn't chance it. Why chance such an accident, with a beautiful gun? So what we're going to do is we're going to use our 357. This is the 357. Our 357 push through, and do our final sizing. Again, as always, whenever you do your final sizing. You definitely want to use lube, just because you want to make sure that, because I'm sure you're putting strain on this die, but again, everything's annealed, so there we go. Now we're sizing these to 3, 5, 7, and there we go. What you can do also is, I'll take and do a corner turn on these guys as they come out. You don't have to, but that's that's how neurotic I am. There we go. And you can also feed them. You can see how the base, not the base, but your bullet, you can feed them this way, like that, as you go through upside down. That way it finishes off the nose a little bit better. So they look pretty. So don't forget, girls and boys, you don't never want to shoot unsized bullets. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. So, and this die right here, this is an older die body that I've had for years, and I don't know how many thousands of rounds of 223 we loaded up with it. That one day I just, I bought a new set of dies, and that's why you see me with the saw file over here using it. I really don't care if I mar the inside of it up. We're just using it to swage some bullets. I mean, our bullets come out pretty darn nice. You can see, very nice. And again, you can use 222. You can use the 222 or 220 Swift. Sorry, 220 Swift die, full length size die body. You can do this with that also, with the decapper removed, to make your ogive. But don't forget, the most important step is the final sizing. The final sizing has to get done, and then you can just load them up. And here's one that we loaded up right here. Primed, ready to go. I see it a little bit far out, you'll see. You got that case goes in there quite a ways. And I just want to see the look on the face sometimes of the range guys when they're cleaning up and they find those Starfire. They look like they're all Starfired out pieces of brass. Yeah, I got a local range I go to indoors, after get off the job and get off of work, and you want to go out and just plink around a little bit without having to go too far out. So, I'm going to show you, here's our Blackhawk. Beautiful Blackhawk. Love the Ruger. Strong frame, beautiful frame. And just to show you guys, they drop right in. See? So we've got a nice, and they should just, slide right out. And again, the beauty of making your own ammo, you can see right here, they're not sticking out of, see? And these are only 38s, so you can see how they're not really coming out. They're back there in the cylinder. So if you load these up in 357, I'm sure you'll have no problems whatsoever. Well, you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, send me a message. It'd be easier just to send me a message in the video in the comments down there, because for some reason I'm not getting my messages through the channel's community board. It's not alerting me to messages. If there's something you guys want to see, let me know. I mean, we covered 44 mag, 44 special bullets. We covered 45, and now we cover 38, 357. Cover the gamut of them. I don't shoot 40 cal. I think it's an inferior cartridge. Guys might carry it. Hey, that's cool. I just think it's a bastard round because it was brought not from necessity, but just for convenience. Being made from the 10 mil, it was kind of like, well, 10 mil's not working out. Let's shorten it down. Yeah, no, it's not like 9 mil was made for a purpose. 45 was made for a purpose. 38s, 44s, all made for a purpose. 10 mil, made for a purpose. 40 cal, don't see that. Don't see it happening. So, unless anything changes, we won't be making that. Another thing I want to go over, it's fun to tinker around in the loading room and load up, make bullets, but if you're not getting out and shooting, you're missing a whole other aspect of the loading sport. Going out and actually seeing what your rounds do, that's just another component of the fun. So get out and shoot. Don't just stay inside and and you know, load up in the garage all day. You can load up, you know, load up all the rounds you want. If you don't shoot them, what's the use of having them? Today out here in the occupied territory, it was pretty miserable outside. Raining pretty good. I mean, we had that swampy kind of mud that sticks like brownie fudge to your boots and to your vehicle. So we decided to step this day in, keep this day in today. So, you guys have any questions? Send them over. Until next time.